Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's do a check-in. How are you all doing tonight? We all have busy days, right? We all have busy days. So let's do something that I have forgotten to do for a few days, which is okay. We are perfectly imperfect here at Evolve Global 22. Let's just release. Breathe in through the nose, push out and release all the stuff from today, the emails, the to-do lists, the rat race, the running around, whatever we needed to get done. Breathe in, push it away. Breathe in, push it away. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Dr. Debbie with Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. This space exists for real people living real lives, people who have carried responsibility, shown up for others, tried to do the right thing, and quietly wondered why life still feels so heavy, even after doing so much work. As we move to 2026, it's unbelievable. I want to name something gently and honestly. Many people are not looking to become a better version of themselves anymore. They are looking for a way to live that does not exhaust them. The title of tonight's live stream is Living Differently in 2026, Not Becoming Better. And hang on, because there's a secret to be revealed later. Now, before I continue, heads up, we are not doing a new live stream tomorrow, which is Wednesday, New Year's Eve, or Thursday, New Year's Day. I will be replaying and live streaming past highlights from Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio from 2025 up until now. And you can view that on our YouTube channel. The first section on there is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio TV 24/7. And then Friday, we will come back in 2026, a new year, and we will start again with a live stream on Friday. Okay, so let's go back to our topic. The title of tonight is Living Differently in 2026, Not Becoming Better. And hang on, stay with me throughout, because there's a secret reveal about this topic at the end. Because healing isn't really and deeply about improvement, as we typically understand improvement in self-development today. Healing is about changing how we live inside ourselves, not who we are trying to become. If you have ever felt tired of fixing yourself, if you've ever wondered why healing started to feel like pressure, or if you're stepping into this new year wanting something quieter and truer, you, my friend, are in the right place. When does healing start to feel like pressure? Let's talk about that for a moment. Most people come to healing because they are hurting. They want relief, they want peace, they want joy, they want their lives to feel manageable again. But something happens over time that we don't talk about enough. Healing can quietly turn into another place where we judge ourselves. Let's talk about some everyday examples that we've all fallen into. Feeling guilty when you miss a practice. Thinking I should be past this by now. Believing healing only counts if you're consistent. Comparing your healing to someone else's. My friends, this does not mean you are failing. It means we live in a culture that turns everything into performance, even care. When healing becomes pressure, people don't feel supported. They feel evaluated, and healing cannot thrive in judgment. Let's think about this for a moment. Where has healing started to feel like another place you're trying to get it right? So now, my friends, let's talk about self-improvement versus healing. This distinction matters deeply as we step into 2026. Self-improvement focuses on output. How much can I do? How disciplined can I be? How productive I can be? Healing, on the other hand, focuses on impact. How does this affect my body? How does this affect my peace? How does this affect my relationships? Self-improvement says, push through. You can rest later. Healing says, listen, something here needs attention. Self-improvement asks, can I keep up? Healing asks, can I live like this long term? There were times in my own life when I was doing everything right, but my body and spirit were quietly asking for something different. That's when I realized something important. Healing is not about becoming better at life. Healing is about becoming more humane inside your life. Let's think about this for a moment. Which question do you ask yourself more often? Can I do this, or can I live this way? Now, my friends, let me share my little secret with you. My secret reveal. And I want you to really hear it. The title of this live stream is Living Differently in 2026, Not Becoming Better. But I have a secret for you. When you truly heal and you truly apply this shift in paradigm, you actually become better in all things in your life. Not because you're forcing improvement, not because you're working harder, not because you're no longer living at war, but because you're no longer living at war with yourself. Let me say that again. Again, it's been a long day, so bear with me. Not because you're forcing improvement, not because you're working harder, but because you're no longer living at war with yourself. That's how you become better in all things in your life, when you truly heal. When I say better, I do not mean perfect. I mean clearer, steadier, more honest, more balanced, more consistent in a real way, more authentic, more capable of handling life without falling apart afterward. Here is why it happens. Number one, you stop leaking energy. Self-abandonment leaks energy. People-pleasing leaks energy. Over-explaining leaks energy. Living differently plugs those leaks. For example, you stop saying yes to one draining obligation. That same week, you sleep a little better, your patience is stronger, and you're not snapping at the people you love. That's becoming better, not through effort, but through alignment. Number two, your decisions get clearer. When you stop making choices from guilt or fear, your choices become clearer. For example, instead of agreeing and resenting it later, you pause and choose what fits. Now relationships feel calmer because you're not silently angry and overextended. Number three, your body starts cooperating. When your life is less pressure-based, your body starts working with you. For example, you don't need as much recovery time. You breathe deeper. You can think much more clearly because you're not living in constant urgency. That, my friends, is becoming better, not because you're pushed, but because you stopped forcing. Let's think for a moment. Where in your life do you suspect you'd become better simply by living more aligned? Now, I have to be honest with you because I'm always honest with anybody I ever work with and with anything that I ever say, even if it's not the most popular thing that people want to hear. So hear me out. Living differently much of the time feels uncomfortable at first, and human beings, we don't like discomfort. This is an important part of the conversation because many people want to live differently but feel uneasy when they begin. Living differently feels uncomfortable not because it's wrong, but because it disrupts familiar patterns. It changes how others experience you. When you stop overgiving, overfunctioning, or over-explaining, people may notice. You say no instead of yes. You rest instead of pushing. You stop filling silence. This doesn't make you selfish. It means the dynamic has changed. The second point, it removes familiar coping strategies. Many of us have coped by staying busy, useful, or agreeable. When you slow down, feelings surface. When you stop fixing, you feel exposed. Healing doesn't remove coping without purpose. It replaces it with presence. The third point, it challenges identity. You may wonder, who am I if I'm not the strong one, the helper, the reorganizer, the reliable one? This uncertainty is not regression. It's identity reorganizing. Let's think about this for a moment. What feels most uncomfortable about living differently? The change itself or how it affects others? So now let's talk a little bit about what living differently actually looks like. Living differently changes how you relate to time. Healing reduces urgency. You stop rushing mornings. You leave space between tasks. You no longer treat rest as a reward. It matters because urgency keeps the body in stress. Healing restores rhythm. Living differently changes how you make decisions. Choices shift from approval-based to sustainability-based. You ask, can I carry this? Instead of, will this look good? It matters because healing chooses what fits your life. Living differently also changes what you tolerate. Healing clarifies limits quietly. For example, you step away from draining conversations. You release roles that cost too much. This matters because peace becomes reason enough. Living differently changes how you define success. For example, success becomes internal and embodied. Calm matters more than applause. Alignment matters more than productivity. This matters because healing measures success by how life feels. So think about it for a moment. I want you to think about this. Ask yourself this. Which of these changes feels most present in my life right now? Now, let's talk about how we can support this shift in real life. And at Evolve Global 22, we use the power of three. This, my friends, is where Evolve Global 22's Power of Three supports living differently, not just understanding it. Our first Power of Three, energy medicine. Energy medicine helps release internal tension created by forcing. When you stop overriding yourself, your body softens and your breath deepens. You can feel your shoulders drop when you choose alignment. Our second power, Ayurveda-inspired living. Ayurveda teaches that balance changes when age, season, and life stage. Balance changes with age, season, and life stage. So, what worked in survival years may exhaust you now. Slower rhythm is wisdom, not decline. And our last power of three, herbal wisdom. Herbal wisdom supports steadiness, not stimulation. Grounding support helps sustain daily life without burnout, not by pushing energy, but by supporting consistency. Now, as always, I want to share a simple little practice with you. This practice is called the livable life practice. Let's make this very, very practical. I want you to pick up a notebook or a piece of paper. Write this title at the top of the page. What would make my life more livable? Now write one area of your life that feels heavy right now, this moment. Write what area requires you time, money, energy, emotional labor, decision making, or constant availability. Now write one small change that would reduce strain. Not fix everything, just reduce or lessen the strain. And now complete this sentence. In 2026, healing allows me to live blank. This is not a goal, it's permission. Now, my friends, I want to invite you, and I want to speak openly about Patreon because this work exists through community support. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio is now on Patreon. It was created to keep healing accessible, gentle, honest, and available to those who need it most. I don't turn people away. And for every dollar I receive, I build it back into service, into supporting individuals and families who need care. For $1 a month, you, my friend, can become a community supporter. This tier helps keep healing education free and available. It helps keep this space open, consistent, and real. It literally keeps the lights on. Tier 2 for $7.99 a month is our Founders Healing Circle, and this is for the first 50 subscribers. This tier includes monthly healing circles, deeper integration practices that you won't find public, and ongoing support throughout 2026. And it allows me to continue serving those who cannot pay because healing should not be a luxury. This is how we heal together. This is how we make healing sustainable. As we step into 2026, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't need to try harder. You don't need to become a better you. You don't need to fix yourself again. You are allowed to live differently. And here's the beautiful part, the secret part. When you live differently in alignment, you naturally become better. Not because you chased it, but because you stopped abandoning yourself. My friends, this is Dr. Debbie with the Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Remember, healing is ongoing. Healing is lived. Healing meets you where you are. The healing is here and the support is here, but wholeness lives within you. Peace, love, and light. I love you all. Bye-bye. I'll see you in 2026. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. This is a place for real people who have carried families, responsibilities, grief, hope, faith, exhaustion, and love, often all at the same time. And before I get into tonight's topic, I want to remind you, after the new year, we are going to return on Monday nights on our study of the science of the sacred and building concepts around that will help you. And this week, we are launching into 2026. Happy New Year to all. May this be a blessed new year ahead for all of us. And may we make our healing, health, and wellness our number one priority. So tonight, this space, as I said, is for real people, us, and I am no different than you. Tonight, I want to talk about something many of us feel, but rarely hear explained clearly. The title of tonight's live stream is When Healing Changes the Shape of Your Life. Because sometimes healing does not feel like improvement. Sometimes it feels like nothing fits the way it used to. And that, my friends, can be very, very confusing. I have been there. Even frightening sometimes. If no one ever told you this could be part of the healing, it is. It's part of true, deep healing. So if you've been thinking, why do I feel different even though I've done the work? This conversation is for you. This is the part of healing that no one warns us about. We're taught that healing should bring relief, more energy, more clarity, more motivation. And yes, sometimes it does. But there is another phase of healing, a quieter one, where instead of adding something, healing begins removing what no longer belongs. Healing doesn't only mend wounds, it also loosens identities that were built around those wounds. Some familiar experiences for many of us can include always being the responsible one, being needed to feel valuable, staying strong because no one else could, pushing through because stopping just was not an option, and These ways of being weren't mistakes. Those examples and those ways of being were not mistakes, my friends. They were adaptations. For many of us, they kept us safe, fed, functional, and standing. But healing eventually asks a different question. Who are you when survival is no longer the main job? What part of you has worked very hard for a very long time? Now, why is healing disorienting sometimes, or it feels disorienting? This is where we as human beings and most people get confused and often discouraged. And this is where many, many people fall off and just quit. You start to feel better, but you don't feel driven. You feel calmer, but also unsure. You don't want what you used to want, but you don't yet know what you want instead. This often happens and is a natural part of true healing. That space is not failure, it's reorientation. Think about it for a minute. When you move furniture out of a room, there's a moment when the room looks worse, not better. That doesn't mean that the room is broken. It means it's being reconfigured. There were times in my own healing where I thought, why am I not excited? Why don't I feel ready? What I didn't realize was I wasn't meant to rush forward. I was meant to arrive somewhere new. So let's think about this. Ask yourself, where in your life do you feel in between? Not struggling, but not settled either. Here are 5 ways healing changes identity. Number 1, you stop automatically saying yes. Healing restores internal choice. For example, you hesitate before commitments you once accepted instantly, not because you're difficult, but because your energy now matters. Healing reintroduces consent into your life. Number 2, old motivation no longer works. Fear, for example, guilt, pressure, and urgency lose their power. For example, you can't push yourself with shame anymore. Hustle talk feels hollow. Healing removes fuel that was burning you out. Number 3, confusion replaces certainty. For example, false clarity dissolves before true clarity forms. You pause before decisions. You question paths you once followed confidently. Confusion is often honesty arriving. Confusion is often honesty arriving. Number 4, you need more quiet than before. Healing shifts attention inward. You prefer fewer conversations, simpler plans, earlier nights. Stillness is how integration happens. Number 5, values change before goals do. Healing reorders what matters. For example, peace matters more than productivity. Alignment matters more than approval. Values are the blueprint for the next chapter. Think about this. Which of these changes feels most familiar to you right now? At Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio, the power of three, remember what they are? Energy medicine, Ayurveda, informed living, and herbal wisdom. We talk about healing as a whole life realignment. Evolve Global 22 teaches healing through the power of three because identity doesn't live in one place. Let me say that again. Identity does not live in one place. Energy medicine releases the old rules of the body. Identity is stored in posture, tension, and breath. For example, someone who always has been the strong one may carry tight shoulders and shallow breathing, even at rest. Energy medicine supports releasing role-based holding, not just stress. Ayurveda-inspired living, healing by season and life stage. Balance looks different at different ages and stages. For example, what worked in survival for years may now exhaust you. Slower mornings and rhythm aren't weakness, they're wisdom. And herbal wisdom supports integration, not force. For example, herbal wisdom supports steadiness and nourishment. Instead of stimulation, healing may call for grounding and calming support while clarity forms. This is healing that evolves with you, not healing that asks you to stay the same. Let's try a little practice. You know, I love giving you a practice in these sessions. This practice is called the Identity Inventory. Now, I want to offer you this practice so you can return to not, just do it tonight, but return anytime when healing feels confusing. If you have a notebook nearby, I invite you to pick it up. If not, you can do this mentally and write it down later. First, take a deep breath in and settle your body. Get comfortable in a nice, quiet space. Write at the title of the top of the page, what healing is changing in me? Now, we're going to go through a series of prompts. Prompt number 1, write down one role you have played for a long time. Prompt 2, write what this role gave you: safety, approval, control, belonging. Prompt number 3, write what this role cost you: energy, rest, honesty, softness. Prompt number 4, complete this sentence in writing. I am no longer required to be blank to be worthy. Prompt number 5, write one value that feels more important to you now than it used to. You don't need answers. You're simply noticing what healing is already doing. Now, let me take a moment. I've been announcing now for a week something very exciting here at Evolve Global 22. This is an invitation for all. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio is now on Patreon. Spaces like this don't survive on urgency or algorithms. They survive on community. And Evolve Global 22 is a community of true whole healing. For $1 a month, you can become a community supporter and keep healing accessible. You literally help us to keep the lights on. You may not, these are for those who may not need anything right now, but they want to support healing in the world. Tier number 2 is the Founders Healing Circle. For $7.99 a month, we offer deeper monthly integration and allow service to those who can't pay for full servicing. This, my friends, is how we heal together. If you look in the description and you go to the first comment, the Patreon link is there. Now, in closing, I want to invite you to come home to yourself. As we move into 2026, healing isn't asking you to become more. It is asking you to become truer. Different doesn't mean damaged. Quiet doesn't mean lost. And change doesn't mean something went wrong. This is Dr. Debbie with Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. And always remember, healing is ongoing. Healing is lived. Healing meets you where you are. The healing is here. The support is here. But wholeness lives within you always. Good night, all. Thank you for being here. I love you. Peace and light.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. I'm extremely blessed to have you here tonight. And I want and foremost say thank you, because tonight's a special night. It's not going to be our traditional Friday night live stream. I want to share something very special with you as an example for possibilities. Tonight's live stream is entitled, I Stayed Longer Than I Should Have, and it still led me here. Tonight is not about teaching. It isn't about a method, and it's not a highlight reel. Tonight is really personal. I want to tell my story more honestly than I ever have before. Not because I've arrived, but because I've lived it. If you're standing at the edge of the new year feeling unsure, tired, or quietly wondering if you waited too long, this conversation is definitely for you. Let me start with where it all started. The body wake-up call, because that's where it started for me. Over 10 years ago, I was close, if not at 300 pounds. My body was struggling in ways I could no longer ignore. I was pre-diabetic. I had breathing issues, chronic skin inflammation, aches and pains everywhere. I was functioning, but I was not well. At that time, I thought my problem was weight. What I didn't yet understand was that my body was carrying years of stress, pressure, and survival mode. My journey began with weight loss, but it quickly became a journey into learning how to listen to my body instead of fighting it. The only way I know how to term this is starting before I felt ready. Around that same time, I started a YouTube channel. I also started what I believed would be, at that time, a personal coaching business. And I need to say this honestly. At that time, I had no idea what I was doing. Really, seriously, no idea. I invested in coaches, teachers, and programs I truly could not afford. Not because I was careless, but because I was searching for answers I couldn't find in the life I was living. I had a well paying job, a 30-year career in K 12 education. I had worked my way to the top. My goal was simple and responsible: build security, retire early, and be okay. Now, this part many people can relate to, but we don't ever really say it out loud. I didn't hate my job. I loved my work. I loved my work, and yet I was still being drained. I loved education. I loved serving students, families, and communities, but it was also high stress, emotionally demanding, and life consuming. So I held two worlds at once: my career, because I needed financial stability, and my healing journey, because my soul needed relief. During those years, I learned social media, content creation. I got physically fit. I studied holistic health, ancient medicinal systems, etc. From the outside, it looked like progress, and it was, but it came at a cost. So now let's talk about when the work moved inside. Eventually, my curiosity deepened. I began studying energy healing, quantum physics, and consciousness. I entered deeper programs that required inner work, not just intellectual understanding. And here's an important truth: I completed everything I set out to do, but I was not emotionally well. I was stressed, living under constant pressure, and I was afraid. Afraid to leave a 30-year career, afraid of finances, afraid of stepping into the unknown without a safety net. Now let's talk about the ending that I didn't plan. A series of events unfolded. Some I handled with grace, others I wish I had navigated differently. But life has a way of making certain decisions unavoidable. The end result was this: I retired from a 30-year career with no retirement. That moment stripped away titles, certainty, and identity. And it taught me humility in a way nothing else ever could. So now let me share with you the rebuild, and get ready. I took a small job in healthcare, something aligned with my heart. Years earlier, I had worked in traditional healthcare, so this step grounded me. And during this season, Evolve Global 22 truly began to evolve. What started as a small coaching idea, slowly transformed through lived experience into a healing, health, and wellness practice rooted in real life. Not overnight, not perfectly, but honestly. Now, I have named 2025 the harvest year. 2025 was my harvest year, not a finish line, but a year where everything I had been planting finally began to show evidence. My health stabilized, my nervous system softened, my work clarified, my values aligned. 2025 was the year I stopped questioning whether the journey was worth it, because the answers were finally visible. Now let's project into 2026 and what that will be. So now as I look toward 2026, 2026 is not going to be about hustling or proving anything. 2026 will be a year of embodiment and expansion. It is the year where everything I've lived, body, mind, soul, and spirit, moves forward as one unified force. It's the year of standing fully in my work, serving without fragmentation, and allowing growth to happen from alignment instead of urgency. And I can finally stand here and say, all things are possible. When you stay connected, keep searching, take aligned action, and allow life to unfold in its own time, not your time, its time. So before I go any further, I have to say some big gratitude messages here. I'm deeply grateful to my teachers and mentors. Thank you for guiding me when I didn't yet know the path. To my supporters, subscribers, and clients, thank you for trusting me as I grew. To my family and friends, thank you for loving me through uncertainty. And to anyone who had even the smallest influence on my evolution, you mattered more than you know. The result of all of this has been Evolve Global 22, and it exists because of this lived journey. It is grounded in the power of three, not as a concept, but as a way of living and healing. Energy medicine works with the body's natural intelligence. Ayurveda-inspired living honors rhythm, balance, and individuality. And herbal wisdom partnering with nature for sustainable healing. So the herbal wisdom partners with nature for sustainable healing. I'm sorry, guys, it's been another long day. This work wasn't created from theory. It was lived, and it was lived by me. And now I have the honor of serving others from a place of wholeness, not striving. Now, something that is great about 2026 and something that I'm so proud of to be sitting here and able to offer you. This is an invitation to my Patreon. Folks, I don't sell anything. I'm a terrible salesman. I come from a place of service. So before I close tonight, I want to say gently and clearly, everything I share here comes from a place of service. Evolve Global 22 is in this space exists because I believe healing, support, and education should be accessible, humane, and real. Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio is now on Patreon. Patreon allows this work to exist without overwhelm, without high financial barriers, and without asking people to do more than they are able to. I committed when I first started this business, and I had a coach tell me that I would never be successful in the way I wanted to do the monetary side because I don't want to leave anybody out. I want everybody to have access because I remember days when I couldn't afford certain things and I just went without, and I struggled to find my way. So via Patreon, there are two simple ways that you can be a part of our healing community. Tier 1 is simply keeping the lights on as a community supporter. It's $1 a month. This tier is for those who want to say, I believe in this work. I want to help keep this space alive. I may not need anything right now, but I want to support healing in the world. This tier quite literally helps keep the lights on at Evolve Global 22. It supports free live streams like this, low cost and accessible healing resources, continued support for individuals and families who need care but can't afford it. $1 may seem small, but when people give gently, it creates access for many others. This is truly a community-rooted healing. And then there's tier 2, the Founders Healing Circle. This is for the first 50 members only for $7.99 a month. This tier is for those who say, I want support, I want to feel grounded, I don't want a heavy commitment, but I don't want to do this alone. For $7.99 a month, founding members receive gentle healing regulation practices, weekly resets and reflections, monthly deep healing sessions, family-friendly tools, and an invitation to the Founders Healing Circle, a live group healing experience offered as a thank you. This tier is intentionally affordable. No pressure, no falling behind, no perfection required. Again, your membership supports you, and it also helps make healing accessible for others who truly need it but can't afford it. Through my Patreon community, I'm able to continue offering healing practices, reflections, teachings, and support that go above and beyond all of my free content, and I'm able to support others who cannot always afford help. Every dollar that comes in helps me keep this work going and helps me serve individuals and families who are struggling, overwhelmed, or in need of care. If you are someone who has been helped by this space, or if you simply want to help keep the lights on for others, that is what Patreon is for. There is no pressure, no obligation, just an open door. Whether you support financially, share this work, or simply show up, please know that I am here in service to you. Now, in closing, if there is one thing I want you to take with you tonight, it's this. Your life makes sense, even if it doesn't look the way you thought it would. Nothing you've lived through was wasted. Not the delays, not the detours, not the seasons where you stayed longer than you should have. Every step taught you something your soul needed to learn. If you are still breathing, still searching, still showing up, your story is still unfolding. As we move toward 2026, I hope you give yourself permission to soften, to trust, and to believe that what's ahead can be built from where you are right now. Please know this, I am here to serve. I am here to support. And I am walking this path alongside you. Thank you for sitting with me tonight. Thank you for witnessing my story, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of yours. Take care of your body, be gentle with your heart, and never forget, you are becoming even when it feels slow. If tonight resonated, remember this. Feeling overwhelmed does not mean, again, something is wrong with you. It means your whole system has been carrying a lot. Healing is not about doing less in life. It's about supporting yourself through it with care, rhythm, and wholeness. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about support, rhythm, and wholeness. I say that all the time. Always remember, healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. This is Dr. Debbie. Peace, love, and light. Many blessings to you. I love you all. Take care and good night.
Yeah. Take you on a ride, boy.
Hello, my friends. Welcome into this healing space. I'm so grateful you are here tonight. I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Before we get into it tonight, I want to wish all who celebrate the holidays that are currently here, Christmas. I believe Hanukkah just ended or is close to ending. Kwanzaa is in here as well, going to start up. I wish everyone who celebrates a wonderful, wonderful, blessed holiday. And I wish everybody a wonderful, happy New Year 2026. And that is relevant for tonight's topic. Keep in mind that on tomorrow, which is Christmas Day, we will not be having a live stream. You can always see the replays on our YouTube channel. We're always running repeats in case people want to catch up by binge watching or whatever. But there will not be a new topic for tomorrow. We will be back on Friday, as always. And going forward into the new year, we're going to be talking about the new year and how to get started in a way that promotes your healing. So again, welcome as we stand at the threshold of a new year 2026. Do you believe it? There is often a quiet pressure that we don't talk about. The pressure to fix ourselves, to promote change, to become someone else overnight. Tonight, I want you to slow the narrative down. This space is about healing, health, and wellness, not performance. And as we move toward 2026, I want to offer you a different way forward, one that honors your humanity, your nervous system, and your lived experience. So take a breath. You are not behind. You are arriving. So let's talk about the topic tonight. Why New Year's resolutions don't support healing. Please, for goodness sakes, for your sake, for your own healing, stop with the New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions often bring judgment, even when they sound positive. They usually carry the messages like, I should have done better. I wasn't disciplined enough. I failed last year. When change begins from shame, the nervous system goes into protection, not healing. Healing does not happen through pressure or punishment. Healing happens through compassion, reflection, and integration. So let's just pause for a moment for a quick, thoughtful question. When you've made resolutions in the past, did they feel supportive or did they feel like self-correction? Resolutions try to control behavior. Healing restores relationship with yourself, your body, and your life. We want to talk about a healing way to enter 2026. Instead of resolutions, I want to invite you into 3 grounding communities, commitments that allow growth without self-attack. Number 1, make amends where needed. Before rushing into the future, we gently look back, not to relive pain, but to clear emotional space. Ask yourself, is there someone I may have hurt intentionally or unintentionally? Is there a situation that feels unfinished in my heart? Making amends is not about reopening wounds. It's about integrity and emotional maturity. An apology is an offering, not a demand. Now, think about this for a moment. Is there an apology you've avoided because you feared the response? If you make a sincere apology and the other person cannot receive it or has chosen distance, that is not for you to carry. Let me say that again. If you make a sincere apology and the other person cannot receive it or has chosen distance, that is not yours to carry. And please do not feel alone. We've all experienced this. We all make mistakes. We all find ourselves in situations. Sometimes we carry ourselves very well. Sometimes we don't carry ourselves so well. But if people are hurt in the midst of things unintentionally, or if you hurt somebody intentionally, make the apology, make the amends. I have a rule for myself. I attempt with somebody 2 or 3 times, but if they don't accept it or they create distance, that is their choice. If you make a sincere apology and the other person cannot receive it or has chosen distance, that is not yours to carry. You did your part. You can release and rest. The next point in this new way to approach 2026 without resolutions. Release the experience as a teacher. Every experience, especially difficult ones, has something to teach us. Instead of dragging regret into the new year, ask, what did this experience show me? What awareness or boundary did it awaken? And what would repeating this lesson cost me? Now think about this. Can you ask yourself, can I allow this experience to become wisdom instead of a wound? You are not meant to suffer endlessly. You are meant to learn, integrate, and move forward. Next, when we talk about launching into 2026 in a new healing way, forgive yourself completely. Self-forgiveness is not optional for healing. It is essential. Say this quietly inside. I was doing the best I could with what I knew at the time. I was doing the best I could with what I knew at the time. Now think about it. What would it feel like to enter 2026 without carrying self-blame? Forgiveness does not erase accountability. It restores wholeness and nervous system safety. A different intention for the new year would be, instead of saying, I'm going to change everything, try this. I commit to being a better human being. Not perfect, not flawless, but more present, more compassionate, and more aware. And alongside that, I commit to my healing, health, and wellness, not as a goal, but as a relationship I tend daily. Think about this. What does commitment to my healing look like in real life? Not ideal life, but real life. Now I have a practice for you. It's a release and renewal practice for the new year. You can do this anytime. It's very simple. Step 1, ground. Place one hand on your heart and one on your lower belly. Close your eyes if that feels safe. Take 3 slow breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And when you hold yourself, put a little pressure. Step 2 is release. Say silently, I release what I have already learned from. Imagine in your mind's eye old moments loosening their hold, like leaves falling from a tree. Now, just release. Let it go. Step 3 is renew. Now say, I carry the wisdom forward, not the weight. Visualize in your mind's eye gentle light filling the space where heaviness once lived. Step 4, intention. End this moment with, I step into the new year present, honest, and whole. Take one final breath and gently open your eyes. That is something that you can do anytime. Try it. And now, as always, some journal reflection questions. If you have not started journaling, start journaling. Even if it's once a week at the beginning for 5-10 minutes, start and then add to it. Here are your 5 journal reflection questions for tonight. Number 1, what am I ready to release as I enter 2026? Number 2, what lesson from this past year changed me for the better? Number 3, where do I need to offer myself more compassion? Number 4, what does being a better human being look like in my daily life? And number 5, how will I support my healing, health, and wellness moving forward? Take a moment and just go through these questions. Journal about one of them tonight. It's incredible what happens when you start reflecting and thinking and journaling and working on the inside, the true, authentic you. Now, my friends, our 2026 announcement. Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio is on Patreon. Before we close out tonight, I want to speak from the heart about Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio on Patreon. This Patreon exists to support everyone. I am committed to serving all people, regardless of income, background, or circumstance. I do not turn anyone away. Patreon allows healing to move in circulation. Every dollar that comes in is intentionally built back into free healing support, sliding scale services, outreach for underprivileged individuals and families. It keeps this space available and accessible. When you support Patreon, you are helping carry someone else who needs healing but cannot afford it right now. In Tier 1, you can become a community supporter for just $1 a month. Anyone who wants to help the healing space open and be accessible, Tier 1 is for you. This tier is about collective care, small, steady support that allows free service, outreach, and continued healing offerings. If all you can give is $1, know this: it matters, it circulates, it heals. Tier 2 is our founding healing circle, our founders healing circle. Who is this for? Those who feel called to deeper connection, reflection, and intentional healing support. This tier allows me to offer deeper healing guidance, create intentional healing spaces, continue serving individuals and families who cannot pay. Your support here directly funds free and subsidized healing for others. If you are ever in a place where you need support and cannot afford it, hear this clearly. You are still welcome here. Healing is not withheld based on money. Patreon simply allows those who can support to support those who cannot. And together we create a circle of care. As you step into 2026, remember this: you do not need a resolution to be worthy of healing. You do not need to be fixed to belong. You are already enough to begin again. Healing does not demand perfection, it responds to presence. Thank you, my friends, for being here. Thank you for choosing compassion over pressure. And thank you for being a part of a community that believes healing belongs to everyone. Once again, check out the Patreon. I will have the link in the description as well as the first comment. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Healing is already unfolding. With peace, love, and light, I'm Dr. Debbie. I love you all. Take care. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here with me tonight. It is Tuesday, and this is Dr. Debbie with Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio. Whether you're joining live, watching on replay, or listening quietly, moving through your evening, I want to begin with something simple and true. Your presence here matters. Tonight's conversation is called When Life Takes More Than Energy, Understanding a Deeper Kind of Tired. And I want to name that right away. This is not about fixing you or pushing through exhaustion. It's about understanding a kind of tiredness that comes from living deeply, not doing something wrong. You didn't come here because you failed at resting. You came because something inside you is listening. Before we begin, I want to invite you to arrive, not by changing anything, but by noticing. You don't need to feel calm. You don't need to feel rested. You don't need to feel focused. Just notice that you are here, exactly as you are. If you feel heavy, that's okay. If you feel flat, that's okay. If you feel tired in a way you can't explain, that is okay. Something in you is still paying attention, and that matters. Let's take a moment just to think about something for just a few seconds. What does my tiredness, I want you to ask yourself this question. What does my tiredness feel like today? Not in words, but in tone or texture. Heavy, dull, thin, quiet, or full. Not all tiredness comes from effort. Most of us were taught that tiredness comes from doing. Too much work, too much activity, too little rest. But there is another kind of tiredness, one that doesn't come from effort. It comes from holding responsibility, holding emotion, holding meaning, holding awareness, holding other people's needs, holding uncertainty. This kind of tiredness does not show up because you moved too much. It shows up because your inner world has been very full for a long time. You can sleep, you can stop moving, you can take time off and still feel tired, because what's heavy isn't your body, it's your capacity. I want you to ask yourself, what have I been holding lately that doesn't get counted as work? We often talk about energy like it's a battery. Recharge, drain, recharge again. But human capacity doesn't work that way. Capacity is affected by meaning, emotional depth, responsibility, caring deeply, uncertainty, and staying present through complexity. When life asks you to care, respond, adapt, and stay engaged, your capacity gets used, even if nothing dramatic is happening. This is why people say, I'm not doing that much, but I feel exhausted. I should be fine, but I'm not. Nothing is wrong with you. You are responding to the weight of meaning, not just activity. The nervous system responds to this not as the cause, but as the messenger. When capacity stays stretched, the system shifts into conservation, not panic, not crisis. Quiet protection, low energy, reduced motivation, waning or wanting less input, and pulling inward. This is wisdom, not weakness. Now think about this. Ask yourself, where in my life has meaning required more from me than effort did? Why rest doesn't always touch this kind of tired? Why? Rest stops movement. But this kind of tiredness isn't asking for stillness alone. It's asking for release, recognition, shared weight, gentleness, and permission. When tiredness comes from stretched capacity, excuse me, the body isn't saying stop doing. It's saying stop carrying this alone. That's why pushing through makes it worse, and why even good advice can miss the mark. This tiredness doesn't need fixing, it needs support and companionship. Now, think about this. What might change if you ask yourself this and think about it deeply? What might change if I stopped treating this tiredness as a problem to solve? So now, on that note, let's do a new practice. This is simply externalizing the weight. This is a very simple practice, and it's different from what we've done before. So I want you to sit comfortably. Now just imagine, you can close your eyes, that everything you've been holding internally is gently lifted from within, and you mentally place it outside your body for a moment. Not forever, just for now. Picture it resting beside you on the floor or table. You don't need to define it. Just notice the space created inside you when you're not holding everything at once. Now take a slow breath. Inhale, exhale, and say, I don't have to carry everything at the same time. Stay in this moment for a few breaths. This practice doesn't remove responsibility. It reminds the body that weight can be shared. Do this practice, several times for about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever amount of time you have, and then notice how it makes you feel. Ask yourself, what did I notice when the weight wasn't all inside all at once? How did I feel? As you know, in the Power of Three, we support capacity, not just energy. At Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio, we don't just work with stress, we work with capacity. Energy medicine helps release what's been held too long. Ayurveda-inspired living helps rebuild rhythm and reserves. Herbal wisdom offers gentle nourishment and steadiness. Together, these three powerful components of the Power of Three don't ask you to push harder. They help you carry life more sustainably. They help you heal in real life and heal for real life and achieve wholeness, not perfection. So let's try to listen differently to tiredness. This tiredness is not asking you to quit your life. It's asking you to relate to your life differently, to share the weight, to soften expectation, to honor your capacity. I want you to take another thought. Ask yourself, if my tiredness were a wise messenger, what might it want me to understand? And on that note, if you have not started journaling, commit to journaling at least to start once a week for 5 or 10 minutes. And then you can return to this video or any of our videos, and you can reflect and journal about some of these concepts. You can return to them later, tonight or sometime this week. On this video, return to this video, and here are your reflection questions. Number one, what have I been holding internally that hasn't been acknowledged or released? Number two, what has meaning or responsibility stretched my capacity? I'm sorry, where? Where has meaning or responsibility stretched my capacity? Number three, what does my tiredness protect me from right now? Next, where could I allow support or shared weight? And last, what would honoring my capacity look like this week? Take a moment and commit to just reflecting on some of these concepts, reflecting on this video and on capacity and tiredness. But for now, I have a great big announcement for 2026. Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio is on Patreon. We are a community of support, and this is your invitation. Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio offers gentle, evidence-informed, soul-rooted practices for adults, children, and families. We support the whole person healing, health, and wellness with a special focus on nervous system regulation, emotional wellness, identity and self-connection, healing in everyday life, and balance that actually works in the real world, amongst many other topics and many other areas. Our work, as you know, is guided by the Power of Three: energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, and herbal wisdom. Inside this space, you'll find live stream teachings like tonight, short healing and regulation practices, calming resets you can use in real time, reflections to support integration, family-friendly tools you can use in real life. This is a full package of wraparound services for adults, children, families. No perfection required, no falling behind, no pressure to do it right. Healing here at Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio is gentle, consistent, and human. To help this work continue in a sustainable and accessible way, I've created Evolve Global 22 Healing Light Studio on Patreon. Patreon allows this work to exist without overwhelm, without high financial barriers, and without asking people to do more than they are able. There are two simple ways you can be a part of our healing community. Tier 1 is keeping the light on. That you become a community supporter. It's only $1 a month. This tier is for those who want to say, I believe in this work. I want to help keep this space alive. I may not need anything right now, but I want to support healing in the world. This tier quite literally helps keep the lights on at Evolve Global 22. It supports live streams like this, low cost and accessible healing resources, continued support for individuals and families who need care but cannot afford it. And $1 may seem small, but when people give gently, it creates access for many others. Then in tier 2, which is the Founders Healing Circle for $7.99 a month for the first 50 founding members. This tier is for those who say, I want support. I want to feel grounded. I don't want a heavy commitment, but I don't want to do this alone. For $7.99 a month, founding members receive gentle healing and regulation practices, weekly resets and reflections, monthly deep healing sessions, family-friendly tools, an invitation to the Founders Healing Circle, a live group healing experience offered as a thank you. This tier is intentionally affordable. No pressure, no falling behind, no perfection required. And something important to know, your membership supports you and it also helps make healing accessible for others who truly need it. There is a space for you here at whatever level feels right. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Before we close, I want you to hear this. Feeling tired in the way that we spoke of tonight does not mean you are failing at life. It means you have been present. It means you have cared. It means you have carried meaning, not just tasks. You are not weak for needing support. You, my friend, are human. Healing is not about becoming limitless. It's about being honest with your capacity and compassionate with yourself. This is Dr. Debbie with Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio with peace, love, and light. And remember, you don't have to carry everything alone. You don't have to be endlessly strong. And healing lives where support is allowed. I love you all. See you soon.